What if one simple daily habit could sharpen your memory, clear mental fog, and make your mind feel alive again? Have you ever experienced this? You have a word on the tip of your tongue, but no matter how hard you try, it just won't come out. Or you forget someone's name just seconds after they told you. Or how about this? You walk into a room in your own house, stop at the doorway with your mind completely blank, and have no idea what you went in there for. These small mental short circuits can be frustrating, and over time they begin to plant an unsettling doubt. Am I losing my memory? If you feel this way, you're not alone. And the most important thing I want to tell you is this. This is not a sentence you have to accept. Many people believe that memory fades with age and that there's nothing you can do about it. But what if I told you that's not entirely true? What if there were a 60-second exercise designed by a neurologist that could help awaken your memory starting today? Stay with me, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and the fascinating science behind it. I am Dr. Richard, a neurologist, and I've spent my career fascinated by the mysteries of the brain. Hundreds of patients have come to my clinic with the same concern that may have brought you here. Men and women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. People full of life who suddenly feel like their minds are starting to betray them. They tell me about the mental fog, the difficulty concentrating, the effort it now takes to recall information that once came effortlessly. And in their eyes, I see not only frustration, but fear. Fear of losing independence, of becoming a burden, of watching their most cherished memories fade away. My mission is to replace that fear with knowledge and to give you practical tools. Because modern neurology has confirmed something truly revolutionary. Our brains have an extraordinary ability to change and repair themselves at any age. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Think of your brain not as a machine that rusts, but as a garden. If you neglect it, weeds grow and flowers wither. But if you care for it, water it, and provide the right nutrients, that garden can bloom again, no matter how many winters have passed. What I'm about to reveal is a form of brain gardening, an incredibly simple method that requires no pills or expensive equipment. It's a 60-second routine that anyone can do from their chair. It's the same kind of exercise I've refined with my patients, often with results they themselves could hardly believe at first. Let's talk about one of the most damaging ideas about the mind, that memory loss is a normal and inevitable part of aging. Society repeats this message constantly in jokes, in movies, and little by little we accept it as truth. When we forget our keys, we think, it's just age. But this belief is toxic, not only because it's inaccurate, but because it leads to resignation. If we believe nothing can be done, we do nothing. We stop challenging our minds, and without realizing it, we accelerate the very process we fear. We give up before we even begin to fight. But science shows us a different reality. I've had the privilege of studying people I call super-agers, individuals in their 80s, 90s, and even 100s, with minds as sharp as someone in their 50s. Their secret isn't just luck or genetics. The common denominator is a lifestyle that keeps their brain active and nourished. Whether intuitively or intentionally, they've been practicing neuroplasticity their entire lives. They've been tending to their brain garden. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to create and reorganize its connections. Imagine your brain's pathways as trails in a forest. When you learn something new, you create a path. Each time you repeat that action or recall that information, the path becomes wider and easier to travel. If you stop using it, it becomes overgrown. But if you use it frequently, it turns into a highway. What's incredible is that this ability does not disappear with age. It remains there, ready to be used. This means that even if some of your neural pathways have weakened, you still have the power to build new ones. The exercise I'm about to teach you is a precise tool to do exactly that. It's a short but intense routine that pulls your brain out of autopilot and forces it to create and strengthen those connections. It combines a simple physical movement with a mental challenge, creating a synergy far more powerful than either part alone. Before I show you how to do it, I want you to meet one of my patients. His story is a powerful example of what your brain is capable of. Let me tell you about Ramon. He came to my clinic at 78 years old, brought in by his daughter who was very worried. Ramon was a retired carpenter, a proud man who had used his mind and hands to create beautiful, precise things. But lately, his brain had been failing him. "Doctor," his daughter told me, "my father is fading. He used to be the life of the party. Now he stops in the middle of a sentence because he forgets what he was going to say. The other day, he couldn't remember the name of his youngest grandson, Lucas. Seeing the confusion on the boy's face and the embarrassment on my father's, it was heartbreaking. Ramon finally looked at me and said the phrase I've heard so many times. "It's nothing, just age. My mind just isn't what it used to be." But I could see beyond his resignation. I saw his frustration. He spent his days watching television. He had stopped reading because he struggled to follow the storyline. His world had begun to shrink. So I proposed a deal. "Ramon," I said, "I'm not asking you to believe in miracles. I'm only asking you to give me 1 minute a day. I'm going to teach you an exercise that may seem silly, but promise me you'll do it every day for 4 weeks." He looked at me with skepticism. "1 minute, and with that I'll remember my grandson's name?" he asked. "Maybe," I replied. "The brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. If you exercise it, it grows stronger. This exercise is like a push-up for your brain. What do you have to lose?" Reluctantly, he agreed. I taught him the same routine I'm about to teach you. 4 weeks later, Ramon returned to my office and the difference was striking. He walked in more upright, gave me a firm handshake, and looked me straight in the eyes. His daughter spoke first, her voice trembling. "Doctor, it's incredible. A week ago, my son Lucas asked his grandfather about a toy he made years ago. And my dad didn't just remember the toy, he told the entire story of how he chose the wood, and even remembered the name of the dog we had back then. I haven't seen him speak with that kind of clarity in years." Ramon smiled. "At first, I felt a bit silly doing those movements," he admitted, "but I kept going. After 1 week, I felt more alert in the mornings. After 2 weeks, I realized I could follow the news without getting lost. And yesterday, out of nowhere, the name of an old workshop friend I hadn't seen in 30 years came back to me, just like that. It was as if a closed window had suddenly been thrown open." Ramon's story isn't a miracle, and it's important to say that not everyone experiences such a dramatic change. But it is a real example of the power of neuroplasticity in action. And now, it's your turn to learn how to use it. The 60-second exercise, step-by-step tutorial. Alright, this is the moment. If you can, get ready to do the exercise with me. All you need is a chair and 1 minute of your attention. Remember, the key is not strength, it's focus. We'll divide the minute into 2 parts of 30 seconds each. Preparation. Before starting, sit at the edge of your chair with your back straight but relaxed. Place your feet firmly on the floor, hip-width apart, and rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. Now, open your eyes. Let's begin. Part 1. Activation and oxygenation. First 30 seconds. The goal here is twofold: to increase oxygen-rich blood flow to the brain and activate coordination areas. We'll do a simple, controlled movement. The movement. With your hands on your thighs, slowly raise your right arm forward until it's parallel to the floor. Keep your left arm still. Breathing. Synchronize your breath with the movement. As you raise your right arm, inhale slowly through your nose, counting mentally to 4. The return. Now, slowly lower your right arm back to your thigh. As it lowers, exhale slowly through your mouth, again counting to 4. Alternating. Without pausing, repeat the same movement with your left arm. Raise your left arm while inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower it while exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's practice once. Right arm up while inhaling, down while exhaling. Left arm up while inhaling, down while exhaling. Perfect. For the first 30 seconds, continue this motion steadily, alternating arms without rushing. Control is essential. Focus on the sensation. Why it works. This rhythmic movement combined with deep breathing calms the nervous system and increases oxygen in your blood, the fuel your neurons need. It also helps release tension in your neck and shoulders, opening the pathways through which blood travels to your brain. The coordination aspect wakes up your brain, preparing it for the next phase. Part 2. The mental challenge. Last 30 seconds. This is where we ignite neuroplasticity. You'll continue the exact same physical movement, but now we'll add a mental task. The key is to do both at the same time. This dual tasking forces different parts of your brain to communicate intensely, building new neural pathways. The mental task, while continuing the arm movements and breathing, begin naming things that belong to a category. The category, start with something simple, for example, fruits. Execution. As you raise your right arm while inhaling, say apple. As you lower it while exhaling, think of the next one. As you raise your left arm while inhaling, say banana. Continue. Orange, strawberry, grape, pear, anything that comes to mind for 30 seconds. Don't worry if your mind goes blank. That's normal. Breathe and wait for the next word to come. The goal is not to set a record, but to keep your brain in active search mode while your body moves. The full 60-second routine. From second 0 to 30, sit upright and begin the slow, controlled arm movement synchronized with your breathing. Focus only on that. From second 31 to 60, without stopping the movement, add the mental task. Start naming items in your chosen category, like fruits, until the minute is up. And that's it. 1 minute that can begin to change your relationship with your mind. Why this combination works. By forcing your brain to manage both a motor task and a cognitive task at the same time, you stimulate communication between different brain regions, like the frontal lobe, attention, the cerebellum, coordination, and the temporal lobe, memory. It's like asking an orchestra to play 2 melodies at once. To do it, the musicians, your neurons, must create new harmonies, new connections. That's neuroplasticity in action. How to improve. Common mistakes and small secrets. The real magic lies in consistency and progression. How do you level up and keep the challenge alive? Your brain is smart. If you do the same thing every day, it adapts and the exercise becomes less effective. You have to keep it engaged. Week 1. Start with simple categories. Start with concrete categories. One day choose fruits, another day animals, then furniture, clothing, and so on. Week 2. Words by letter. Increase the difficulty. Choose a letter and name all the words you can that begin with it. For example, with the letter P, dog, bread, ball, door. This forces the brain to search for information in a different way. Week 3. Countdown. This is a classic. While moving your arms, count backward from 100 in steps of 3. 100, 97, 94. If you lose track, don't worry. Breathe and resume from the last number you remember. Week 4 and beyond. Get creative. Mix and combine. Name cities around the world or people's names that start with a certain letter. The golden rule is simple. If it feels too easy, it's time to change it. The right level is when you feel a slight effort. That's the sign your brain is working. The 3 mistakes you must avoid. The first is rushing. This is the most common mistake. Moving your arms too quickly and breathing shallowly. It's counterproductive. Rushing creates stress, and stress is poison for memory. The goal is calm and control. Slower is better. The second is inconsistency. Doing it for 3 days and then forgetting it for a week won't work. The brain needs repetition. It's like watering a plant. It needs a little water every day.